Aburu, Aboye, Aboshishe. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's well. It's Babalawo Ifabileke. Aburu Oboye. Aburu Aboye. How's everybody doing? Aburu Aboye. Aboshishe. How's everybody doing? It is Babalawo Ifabileke. How's everybody doing? Eku Oshe Ifa Egbe Ori Oshun Eshu Odara Ajeolokun and Olofin. I hope everybody is doing well. Let's start by saying Eji Ogbe. Eji Ogbe, Iwaju, Iwajuo, Lopam BT Racy, Ofun Orumila, Ifasa Wolo Si Ife Soto, Ebony Wanikawase, and J Ka Sotito, Ka Sododo, Agbato Sotito, Nimolombe. So, may we always be of the honest and the truthful. It is the honest and the truthful that the deity support. What does that mean? Right? What does it mean in Ifa to be of the honest and the truthful? You know, what does it mean? What does it mean to be of the honest and the truthful? It's to live by the truth. So, as an Ifa practitioner, we exercise the truth. We know that water brings life, so we use water in our worship. We know that honey brings sweetness, so we add sweetness to our worship. We know that palm oil eases the way. We know that shea butter cools the head. There's these many different things that we use in order to bring joy into our life. So it's true that honey is sweet. So we use that truth in our practice, in our worship. Right? So honey signifies longevity in Ogbe Kamran. Right? Honey symbolizes joy and contentment in a Tegbe. There's these different places where we can see how we use honey in our worship. So I don't know who could use a little more sweetness in their life. These are some of the things that, we learn about in Ifa. We learn how to bring these things into our life to add a richness or flavor, right, to our life. So like I said, who don't want a sweet life? Who don't want to taste the best things out of life? It's the honey that is refined, right? It doesn't take too much refining, but the honey is refined right before it gets to us, so that it's pure, so that the joy and the contentment that the honey brings by the time it reaches our table is pure. It's pure joy, pure contentment. So, in Ofun Sa, we're going to say this one, right? I'm learning this one, so my enunciation may be a little off, but Ofun Sa. Ofun Sa Lefun, Ofun Sa Losun, Ofun Sa Mariwo Pue, Diafun, Torufini, Tio Joloja, La Wuju Eku, Ebony Wanikawase, Osi Bebo, Nibe Rubo, Amun Torofini, Joloja, Bobo Homo Eku, Emo, Mowaiwa, Sin. So, it's talking about Ofun, right? Ofun looks white. Ofun, I got something right here. Hold on. So, this is Osun, right? This is Ofun. So how do we use these in our worship? Ofun is associated with Obatala, right? Whiteness. Prosperity likes that color. Ifa likes that color. Obatala likes that color. Ogbo Ato, Osuri, Iwori, Wofun. So, this Ofun is used to attract goodness. Right? It attracts that Obatala white energy. So prosperity, good health, peace of mind, elevation. Those things supported by Ofun. And Lukumi is Cascadia. It's Cascadia. So, Osun, Camwood, Ogbo Ato, Osuri Iwori Wofun, Ifakunle, Ifabileke. Osun is camwood. So Osun was used to beautify the skin. So they would put it on their the Africans would put it on their skin to make themselves beautiful. You know, it's makeup. So Ofun symbolizes those higher vibrational energies, Obatala. Osun symbolizes what? The mothers. So one adorns themselves with Ofun, and the other one adorns himself with Osun. It is white witch energy and red witch energy. One meant to purify and the other meant to beautify. How do we use this in our worship? We want to attract the good things in life. And we want to remove negative energy. Right? So if we look at it and duality and the polarity, like light and dark, Ejiogbe and Oyokumeji. The mother and father of all pairs. Right? So the other 14 Miridelagoon, Oju Odu, the Mejis, right? The Mejis are a mixture of light and dark. Ejiogbe or Yekumeji. The father of all pairs, the mother of all pairs. So how does that help us? How does that help us in our worship? Because we're able to attract goodness. Beautify ourselves. Beautify ourselves becomes a protection. So the next line is Ofun is the palm tree. Whiteness, right? Ifa. Purity. Expansion. Good. True. Honest. These are the things that we must embody when we start painting ourselves with Ofun. Efun. Removing certain things on our own and beautifying ourselves. This is Osun. Understanding that because Ofun is both expansion and beautifying. Right? Good, honest, pure, truthful, beautifying. May we be beautified by removing those negative things in our life. Cast E5 for Toro Fini that was going to become the chief of the rats. Now, we might say, who wants to be a rat? Nobody wants to be a rat. Not in that way. In this way, it means it's talking about plentiful. Things being bountiful. Right? So, it says going to become the chief of the rats. Everywhere you go, you can find a rat. Field mouse. You know? Rats of varying sizes and degrees. But they're everywhere. So, it talks about becoming the leader of something that you find everywhere. Being the chief of those found everywhere. So, I'm saying, one must be purified and beautified to become a leader. One must remain pure, right? So there's a lot of leaders out there that do a lot of different things, right? And they lead according to their own destiny. This Odu Ifa Ofun Sa asks us to continuously purify and beautify ourselves. We have to continuously do that. Not only to become an elder or a leader, right? But to continue to be one. So we may think about it, right? Oh, Baba, I'm not a leader, you know, but you're a mother. Oh, Baba, I'm not a leader. Oh, but you're a father. Spouses. Friends. Co-workers. That we're always put in these positions where we must be the leader. Someone's asking our opinion, asking our know-how, right? So asking for some type of advice. Because of that, right? Ofun Sa, Lefun, Osun Sa Losun, Ofun Sa Mighty Wo Pue Yeah. It applies to us all. It applies to us all. So because we're leaders, right? Because we help somebody, because someone looks up to us, someone relies on us, we must always be in a state of purifying and beautifying. You know? So, doing things with a pure heart, right? Doing things for the greater good. Doing things outside ourselves. Requires for us to address those stations, those positions with a pure heart, right? And a beautiful heart. Full of compassion, empathy. So, he was advised to offer a bow, Toro Fini. Was advised to offer a bow, he complied. He became the chief of the rats. All the rats' children come to praise him. So, what are we doing to become good leaders? What are the things that we are doing in order to purify and beautify ourselves? How does having a pure heart and a clear heart and conscience, how does that allow the leader to lead? It's because things are unbiased. Unbiased decision making. Making decisions for the community. Making decisions for the family. Making decisions for the children. Making decisions at work. This E5 helps us to understand why it's important to keep a pure heart. Why our conscience needs to be clean. Greetings to you, Aaron. You know, Ofun, Salefun, Ofun Salosum, Ofun Samari Wopwe, yeah, de Ofun Torufini, Tio Joloja, Lawujo Eku, Ebony Wanikawase Osi Bebo, Ni Berubo. He made a bow on the spot. Immediately upon receiving the information, he changed something about him. Osi Bebo, Nibe Rubo, he hear about a bow, he offer a bow immediately. When we receive the information from E5, we have to change. You can't hear something and then unhear it, right? Once you know, right, it's certain you can't forget it. You can't undo it. You've already received the information. Your Ori has already accepted it, in a sense. That's a whole nother thing. How does one get to leadership? One gets to leadership because it's a part of one's destiny. We all picked a part of our destiny to be leaders. We all lead someone, somewhere, in something. Nieces, nephews, co-workers, spouses, children, friends. There's always someone that relies on us. Don't say it's not you. Don't say it's not you, because when you say it's not you, you shirk your responsibility. You shirk your responsibility. So, how does one pick one's destiny? What things are a part of one's destiny? There are a lot of things that are a part of one's destiny. There are a lot of things that are a part of one's destiny. To understand that, we have to understand about destiny and certain things that we go through, certain experiences we have, right? All of them pretty much. Everything that happened to you in your past was destiny. It was a destined event. We know it's because it got you here. Whatever you went through, you had to, because that's what got you here. Certain things are problematic, right? Certain things cause mental and emotional challenges. I don't know, man, if I kind of like free from that, because it says that it was destiny, right? So it's something that you had to go through. Because you're here, it means that It was successful. That you successfully completed a challenge. You successfully overcame an obstacle. You successfully handled abundance. You successfully handled different responsibilities and things like that. That's what got you here. So how can we cry over spilled milk when it's destiny? Unless you don't believe in destiny. We can't have it both ways. Give me a thumbs up or something. Give me a heart or something. Let Baba know you listening. Let Baba know you listening. Everything we go through is a result of destiny. What happened to little Johnny when he was 6? It was destiny. What happened in the 6th grade was destiny. What happened your sophomore year at college was destiny. So how do we move past it? But we have to accept it as such. Accepting things as part of your destiny helps us. It doesn't mean that you agree with it. It means that you accept it as part of your experiences and you're free to move on. You're free of the emotional baggage that it creates. So, let's look at it like this. When your phone gets full of pictures, songs, and videos, you must do something to free up the space. How do you free up the space? You go through your phone and you decide what's important and what's not to keep. What things you're going to keep and what things you're not. What things are more important to you, or what things are you going to need in the near future? So then we remove the things that we no longer need that access to. So when it comes to destiny, there's things about our destiny that we need to remove. We don't need to take it with us. We need to free up space so that we can clearly feel, right? I said feel. So we can clearly feel the new experiences. You can't adequately enter into a relationship with baggage from another. There's no space. You can't be afraid to drive a car if you've seen a wreck before. You need to free up the space. There's some things that are real shady to happen to people. But we have to move past it. We can't let the emotional space that those things take up keep us from moving forward. This is how we get stuck in our head. Right? Round and round we go. It's shitty. It's shitty. How is one supposed to deal with abandonment? Because they find their strength through it. How does one build integrity if it's never tested? How does one overcome loss if they never experience it? These things are designed, right? We already have the answers to the test before we even get to the test. In school, right? You learn your ABCs first. before you learn how to spell. You needed a basis for your spelling. Your foundation needed to be set. When we coming from heaven to earth, we pick our destiny and the different levels to it. So some people may say, oh, my best, highest destiny. Some people just say, oh, if it's in my destiny to do this, or it's in my destiny to do that. If it's in my destiny to have this, if it's in my destiny to have that. People say it all the time. But what about the highest, best possible outcome? Do we ask for that for ourselves? We ask for things for other people, but we very rarely try to access our own destiny, our own consciousness, our own plan. How do you do that, though? Doing the Ori work, casting Ifa, offering the bow, doing these different things that will help attune us, that help bring us into the right frequency so that we can receive these messages intuitively, through divination, through mediumship. Ifa is a word of Olodumare, right? If y'all are familiar with Christianity, give me a thumbs up, a heart, or something. Because that's the example I'm going to use. So, do we all remember, like in Genesis? In Genesis, it says, first there was a word, the word was God, and the word was with God. Y'all remember that? First there was a word, the word was God, and the word was with God. So, it equates God with the word. That's in Genesis. So, first there was the word was God, and the word was with God. Let me ask you, who uses the word? Who uses the word? Somebody say something. Who uses the word? I'll wait. Somebody can type that. Let me know who uses the word. Or let's say it in a different way. Who uses words? Who uses words? We use words. Correct. We use words. So if the word was God, first there was the word was God, and the word was with God. It doesn't make a difference where it comes from, whether it's Genesis or John. We use the word. So that tells us what? That we God and we with God. Just by using the word, right? Because God uses the word. God is the word. So that's one. Ifa is the word of God. As Ifa practitioners, we utilize the word of God in our practice. Ifa is the word of God, or the vibration that we can understand. Bendiciones, Ogunsita, how are you? So if first there was the word was God, and the word was with God. We said that people use the word, right? So that means we God, or we are with God. Cows don't use the word. Goats don't use the word. Birds don't use the word. Bees don't use the word. Only humans use the word. That tells us, we can see it again, right? In Holy Odu, Oshe, Omolu. Oshe on the right and Ogunda on the left. And this Odu would talk about status and stature, and what position we hold in creation. How you doing, Blue Birdie? Aboroboye, Boshishe. So, and Oshe Omolu, Oshe Ogunda, Oshe on the right, and Ogunda on the left. It tells us about the rats, the fish, the birds, the beasts, and the human beings. And so they're having this discussion about being thankful and who should show gratitude. Who should show gratitude and why? Yes, I'm a Babalawo. I'm a Babalawo, a Gungun priest, Egbe priest. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, 2028 Woodland Drive, Suite B. You can come check us out. So, they're having this discussion, right? The rats, the fish, the birds, and the beasts, and the human beings. They're having this discussion. And the discussion is about being thankful, right? And who should be thankful and why. So we know that in the discussion, who is the only one that can talk? The humans. So the human beings were the only ones that could show gratitude. So it shows there's a different position. So in this Odu, it talks about those who can versus those who can't. So some people fall into the ones that are thankful. Others fall into the ones who are not thankful. It's because they haven't learned it yet. So if the Word was God, first there was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. And we use the Word, that means that we, human beings, our spirit was there from the very beginning. Right? First there was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. It's three different explanations of the Word. First there was the Word. The vibration. We use words through vibration. Pitch and tone, vocal cords, which are releasing vibrations into the universe. Right? Vibrations at a particular frequency that all of us can understand. And depending on the way that the frequency is, tonal language, even the structure, right, helps denote tone. It helps denote vibration. So if you got different people in different places with different languages, they still vibrate in the same way. They still vibrate through the same frequency. Right? It's the structure of the frequency varies. But it's still utilizing the Word. So it still makes them with God. So, understanding that when we got here, all your needs were met. No one brought anything here with them. No one brought water with them. Nobody brought food with them. Nobody brought the tools to build a house with them. Nobody brought these other different things. This construct, this 3D, was constructed and maintained for each one of you. That's boss. That's boss. The place was prepared for you before you got here. It helps us to know who we are. We're all using these devices. The dog can't use it. The cat can't use it. The bird can't use it. The mouse can't use it. The fish can't use it. It's tailor-made for the gods. So how are we going to exercise our true nature? How are we going to exercise our nature to create, right, when we got this baggage? Your spirit, your ori, your head, your consciousness has a certain capacity, right, to hold certain types of energy. Certain things like traumatic events, things that happened in the past that one holds on to, these things tend to take up more space the more time passes between the event and your present day. It can hold so much energy so that it blocks you from giving energy into something else. Because you have to hold on to this thing. After a time, it becomes comfortable. So when people go get readings or people get cleansings or Olympias or these type of things, right? They're usually tired after because now they can relax and rest because the energy that has weighed them down has been lifted. All this is a part of our destiny to overcome the challenges. I used to think that everything was fun and games. I still think everything fun and games. I still think everything fun and games, right? Because I've learned how to get what I want. I'm saying, I can ask the universe for something. I can ask God for something. I can ask Olodumare for something. I can ask my Ori for something, and I'll get it. It may not be when I want it, but I know it's coming. It's because I've learned how to create. I've accepted my position in the universe. I've accepted myself, my spirit, right, as God-like. So exercising that. Teaching others how to exercise it. It requires a level of patience. Right? So that's the thing to learn. Patience. So if we move like we have short life, then we don't have patience for long life. I know that I'm going to receive the things I ask for. I teach my Omawo, right, to be intentful in the things that they ask for. Because that, apart, like everything else they've been through, is a part of their destiny. But we all have to free up the mental space, right, the time, the emotion, all these different things in order to create. You know? We all get a little impatient. We all get a little impatient, Bluebirdie. You know? I was calling him a little late. So, all right, let me get off of here. Okay. So, we should be freeing up mental space so that we can exercise the word onto the universe. We have to learn how to accept the past as destiny. And we choose these things, right? We choose these things before we come to this world. So, like I said, right? First there was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Right? So that means we with God in the beginning. Right? Ifa teaches us that we was with the Creator. So when we choose our destiny, right, we're in this Ofun land, we're in this kneeling position before the universe. And there's things that we ask for, right? And there's things that are given, right? So Olodumare, the Creator, right, the sustainer of our universe, is going back and forth. We negotiating with God, or what we call God. right? We negotiating. We having this. We going back and forth about what our mission is gonna be when we come into this life. I'm just saying, think about it, right? So we going back and forth. Each one of you are going back and forth with the creator of the universe about what your mission gonna be when you get here. What does that do for one's self-esteem? That the universe has accepted your plan. That the creator has accepted the things that you asked for, right? And the things given to you. Some things you didn't ask for. Right? In the negotiations. But when you make the final acceptance, right? And you come from heaven to earth, right? You've accepted those things. Both the things that you asked for and the things that the universe asks of you. That's powerful. So if the things we talk about destiny, if the things are predestined, the things that you may have agreed to before you got here, and then we have these deja vus, right? We have these epiphanies, these moments of clarity. We have these moments of clarity, right? When certain things are illuminated, like we made aware. Where the challenge comes in is that when we deny what we've seen, or we don't quite understand it and we make the wrong decision. So it causes us to have an obstacle. It causes us to have a blockage. It causes us to have stagnation. It can cause sickness. In some situations, it can cause death. But here we are, each one of us, right before God, or what we call God, what people call God, Olodumare, and we having this negotiation about what we're going to do when we come to this world. But when we get here, some of us be caught up in pleasure. Some of us get distracted, right? Some of us have these destined events that's a part of our life that will cause us to stay focused on it instead of moving forward. When we drive in the car, the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. Because our vision is supposed to be forward. Not backwards. Not holding on to the things in the past. Not continuously reviewing and looking at those things in the past. It's not a part of the plan. We have different positions that we're trying to get to. We have different places we're trying to go. Even if it's just emotionally, mentally, physically. So first there was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Right? We see in Ifa when we talk about the creation story. So we got one tradition that's like 10,000 years old, which is Ifa, versus another tradition that's about 2,000 years old. So there's about 8,000 years in between them when they say the same things as far as this is concerned. They say the same thing. They both say that we was with God. They both say that we utilize the Word. They both say that we're supposed to move forward and progress with the Word. Utilizing the Word. We're supposed to call out to the universe with our outside voice. Not our inside voice, but our outside voice. And ask the universe to bring the things that are ours. Bring the opportunities that are mine. Bring the children that are mine. Bring the spouse that's mine. Bring the job that's mine. Bring the victory and peace of mind that's mine. Bring all the things to me that's mine. We do it. Everybody does it in one form or another. Alafia, share Alafia ni. Obo ato, Suri wori Ofun. We do these things. Christians pray. Muslims pray. Buddhists, I'm not sure if they pray. I don't know what they do. They chant. But the Ifa practitioners, Orisha practitioners, Wiccans, everybody uses their mouth to ask the universe for the things that they want. For the blessings in their life. To experience joy. To experience commitment. To experience contentment. To experience love. We ask the universe for these things. Because it tells us, even in the Bible, first there was the Word was God, the Word was with God. God said be, let there be light. There was. So we're supposed to utilize the Word in this way. Be. To clearly see the things that we want to bring into being. We have to focus forward. Move and progress and advance. Emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. How do we do that? By accepting destiny. If these things that happened in the past I have to accept for destiny, then the things I'm asking for in the future have to be a part of my destiny as well. The obstacle and the blessing both handcuffed together. It's how you behave yourself through the obstacle in a God-like way. In a God-like way. Having patience. Having perseverance. Having empathy, compassion. For yourself first, you have to develop those inside yourself. But you also brought those from heaven to earth as well. The capacity for those energies. The capacity to hold love. If you have the capacity to hold it, you have the capacity to give it. So I disagree. We have to always ask. Hey, so it's true. It's true. It's the squeaky wheel gets the grease. A hurt dog will cry. These are universal sayings, right? That we can see it anywhere. So we know that it's truth. So it tells us if we cry to God or cry to the universe about the things that we want, we shall get them. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. The squeaky wheel emits a vibration that's audible. We can hear it. To bring attention to it. The hurt dog will cry. So understanding who we are and about destiny and certain things that we experience, everything is a part of one's destiny. So accepting the past, right? What are we willing to accept in the future? Ejiope tell us, right? It is the striped frog who summons rainfall. It is the bullfrog who summons downpour. It is whatever the Akajira palm tree roots tell the earth what the earth accepts. Whatever the big rat tells the earth, it accepts. So, Ogbo Ato, Asuri Iwori Ofun, Ekaleo. So, when we pray, when we ask Olodumare, when we ask our Ori, when we ask the Orisha or Arumale for things, we must think about what we're willing to accept. We should be asking ourselves that every day, right? What are we willing to accept? Are we willing to accept things that are less than? Are we willing to accept relationships when there's only half giving? Are we willing to accept friendships that are one-sided? Are we willing to accept not having access to certain things? What are we willing to accept? Sometimes I feel like some of us don't know what we're willing to accept. Something that's second best. Something that's only half done. I want all my blessings. Not a day too early or a second too late. Because I want it to be sweet. These things teach you about your self-worth. What are you worth? What are you willing to accept? Is it a part of one's destiny? I'll say there's some big ones, right? That's long life, good health, peace of mind, contentment, success and elevation, even recognition. I ask that I hope people continue to recognize things in me. Because it helps me to recognize things in myself. I only got two eyes and they face out. I can't see myself like other people do. I can't see myself like other people do. So in a way, right, we kind of like depended upon that. In a way, it tell us in Obealara. I think so. Yep, Obealara. Ifa, when you're fully awake, look at me. Man, the heavenly stars look. No. Ifa, when you're fully awake, please look at me with eyes of compassion. It is with eyes of compassion that the heavenly stars look at the stars below. Ifa, when you're fully awake, please look at me with eyes of compassion. It is with eyes of compassion that one used to acquire wealth. Ifa, when you're fully awake, please look at me with eyes to help obtain compatible spouse. It is with good eyes that a spouse look at her man. Ifa, when you're fully awake, please look at me. Please look at me as a child looks at a well-decorated plate. No. Please look at me. Oh, please look at me with eyes like a child that looks at a well-decorated plate. I can't remember the last line. Hold on. When you're fully awake, please look at me eyes of compassion. Kunle, what's the line, man? I know you know. When you're fully awake, please look at me eyes. Please look at me eyes that a child looks at a well-decorated plate. Oh, please look at me with eyes that help bear many children. It is with good eyes that the child used to look at a well-decorated plate. I got it. So, it's saying that we want the energies above to look at us in a certain way that we can receive these blessings. The first one is compassion. But through compassion, again, it brings prosperity. Right? Let that part of God, that part of the universe, that part of Olodumare, that part of Akamara, that part of the 801 of Romale, let those energies be awakened in me so I can attract these blessings, so I can create these blessings for myself. I'm just saying, it's no small task to look at oneself objectively and subjectively. And finding something in the middle where it's good at. Right? It is what others see in you, right? That's outside of you. Versus how you see yourself, which is inside of you. So, finding that medium where everything is in balance and in harmony, right, to help us progress. Because it's the balance of energies that we use to create. You need masculine and feminine. Men need to be in tune with their feminine in order to have balance. Women need to be in tune with their masculine and to have that balance. So, what does that look like? You know, I know more Ogun women than men. What does that tell you? I know more Ogun women than men. And Ogun is a masculine energy. It just goes to show we all are fighting for balance. We all fighting for balance. So I'm a Gungun, right? The feminine support with masculine action. Feminine support, right? Iyami creates the masquerade. Obatala is the first man or masculine energy to wear the masquerade. Feminine support with masculine action. Causing one to be in balance, right? Bringing one in balance with both maternal and paternal ancestors, the lineage. Having that type of support, that type of feminine ancestral support for movement. It's something that we all got to strive for. Balance. Balance with our desires versus the desires of the universe. Balance with being selfish and selfless. Balance with the light and dark energies within us. Challenges, but it allows us to create. It allows us not only to create for ourselves, but to create and control different aspects of other people's lives. So we're not talking about like, nobody wants to control somebody like a zombie. We're talking about helping people to overcome death. Helping people to overcome sickness. Helping people to overcome bad luck. Helping people to overcome loss. Helping other people overcome these different challenges that they may face in the process of self-discovery. It's hard focusing on yourself in this way. It's challenging trying to figure out your own emotions. Why do you feel this way? Why is this the reaction? Why do you see things that way? Right? And doing it like justly, it's challenging. But we all can do it. We can all do it. We came from heaven to earth with this thing designed in our plan. Peace to you, Niana Birthing Company. Balancing ourselves helps us to create. It's kind of asexual in a way, right? When each one of us are balanced ourselves and we come together, right, with a divine pair, or into a divine partnership, or whatever, however you want to call it, spiritual spouse, or I don't know, marriage. When you come into these unions, then it's better because you're already balanced. You already whole. The thing is that we do this a lot of times and we're not whole. So then we look for these other things, these other people, these other energies to fill in the gaps, right? It tells us in the creation story. In Ogbeyanu, it's a story about Afuwape, who's a child of Orunmila. Ori Lemere, which is a child of Ija contention, and Ori Seku is a child of Ogun. So they're all coming from heaven to earth, right? So Afuwape, Olodumare tells him, don't stop, go straight from heaven to earth. Pick your destiny and go from heaven to earth. Ogun called his child, he didn't stop. His child didn't stop. Contention called his child didn't stop either. When Orunmila called Afuwape, Orunmila stopped. He's like, man, I'm going to see what my pops say. So he sat there with Orunmila, he cast his fire, offered a bow. Orunmila gave him some things that to use on his way from heaven to earth. He gave him 2 bags of salt and I think 12,000 calories or something like that. So he's going along. There was these different entities that was there that he had the salt to give to the entity or to the energy, right? A gift. So because of that, the entity or it was Alagbala, it's the ancestors. He had to pass coming from heaven to earth. He went from a higher part of heaven down through the realm of the ancestors down to, descending from heaven to earth. So along the way, he started using the things that he was given by his dad, and those things helped ease the way from him coming from heaven to earth. It helped him receive certain access and information and things like that, so that he was able to make the right selections, the best selections. So after they go to Ajalamumpin's establishment and they pick their destiny, their head, their outer head, right? Coming through from heaven to earth, when we come through the birth canal and we're in water, it washes away part of our ori. So this is why we can see that the babies, when they're born, they're called sutures, right? The pieces of the head are not whole. The bones in the head are not whole. It's because when we come from heaven to earth, these places of our destiny are missing. So in an energetic way, we look to replace fill in those spots that are missing in our destiny. So when we do this, Benny, the soft spot. So for some of us, there's bigger pieces missing than others. Me, I got a big head, so I don't know. It might have been a lot missing. But so when we come from heaven to earth, we're missing these things. When we come through the water, it is the water that washes away those parts of our destiny. So that in this life, we look to replace the things that make us whole or to complete our destiny. So this can be different things in our life, right? Children, spouse, the thing we do, right? Whether we give back to the community, what type of character we have. All these things are decided before we get here. What happens is we try to recognize the temperament of the child. We try to recognize the ability of the child. But it's already written. It's based on the decisions of the child and the parents, which level of their destiny they achieve. So, in Ifa, we do Esentaye. It's for the babies, you know. It helps us to guide them. It helps the parents, too. So, there's different things we can understand about people even coming into the world. Even before a child is born, we cast Ifa about the child. We can figure out about the child before they're even born. We can find out things like how many children they may have. Right? How many children they may have. What's the best profession for them? What things do they have a knack for? What responsibilities do they have? What things do they need to start to complete? Right? What things can the parents complete for the child? All these things, right, we can see through Ifa. Because Ifa is the word. In the Bible it says, first there was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Ifa is the word of Olodumare made in a way that we can understand. And we can see it because it's true. I started by saying Ejiogbe, Iwaju, because it's true. The truth. Everything that happens in Ifa you can quantify it. If I say you get money, you get money. If I say you're gonna have a baby, you're gonna have a baby. If I say you're gonna have a spouse, you're gonna have a spouse. You can quantify it. You can see it. So when God said in the Bible, first there was the word was God, and the word was with God, right? We understand that word may have been be, and it was light. So we were able to quantify. We can tell what the difference was before the light. It was darkness. And Ifa's the same way. A lot of times when we go for Ifa consultation, it means that we're in the dark. We're in the dark about something. We're in the dark about the origin of an illness. We're in the dark about, how to get to prosperity. We're in the dark about spouse. We're in the dark about children. We're in the dark, in a way, about certain things because we can't see them. So when they become visible, they become illuminated. But they can't become visible if they're not a part of one's destiny. If it wasn't something that you picked coming from heaven to earth, before you came from heaven to earth, you can't add that into your destiny. So, understanding one's destiny. And there are blessings and obstacles that were picked at the same time. There was something that we asked for and something that was given to us when picking our destiny. And so when we understand that some of the things, like the challenges that we may have, the obstacles that we may have had, these different things that we experience are part of our destiny. Then we can leave it where it was at in the past and move forward to the things that we have coming in our destiny. But we have to free up the mental space. We have to remain white like Ofun. Right? Ofun Salefun. Ofun Salosun. Ofun Samari Wopwe Ye. We have to continuously beautify ourselves by wiping away the things that no longer serve us so we can move forward. right? With a clear conscience and a pure heart. Ashe, I hope everybody is well. Baba Ifabileke, Baba Latona Ifabileke, OJ Bimi. You know? Let's move forward. Right? With clear conscience. Let's wash away. Let's remove all the things that no longer serve us. There's somebody that look to us for support. There's somebody that look to us for advice. There's somebody that look to us because of character. It's your poopo. So let's move forward. Ashe. If y'all in Charlotte, man, check us out. 2028 Woodland Drive, Suite B1, 2 and 3. Check us out on YouTube, Iadudu_Temple. We're trying to get that up and going. Check us out in St. Pete at Botanica Yamayalo Kun. That's Iadudu Temple number 2. It's attached to that. Or you can just reach out, right? Please continue to look for Iwa. It is through Iwa that we have long life. Aburu, Aboye, Aboshishe. I'm trying to turn this thing off.